I'm surprised that the last three superhero movie franchises developed by Marvel and DC, outside the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the DC Universe, have all ended in the same disappointing way. In the last few decades, there have been many attempts at adapting epic events and characters from Marvel and DC comics into some huge and expansive live-action movie franchises. I'm not alone in favoring Marvel Studios' ever-growing MCU, while the new DCU, under the leadership of James Gunn and Peter Safran, is also looking promising, but not all superhero movie franchises have been so lucky. Outside the MCU and the newly rebooted DCU, 20th Century Fox's X-Men universe, the DC Extended Universe and Sony's Spider-Man universe have all delivered their own interpretations of these stories from Marvel and DC comics. All these franchises have also come to an end, the most recent being the SSU, with 2024's Kraven the Hunter marking its final movie. I can't say I've been surprised that these franchises have been cancelled, but I have been quite surprised to watch them all come to an end in, unfortunately, similar ways. The New Mutants ended Fox's X-Men franchise with a whimper. The New Mutants ended Fox's X-Men universe on August 28, 2020. Back in 2020, The New Mutants marked the sorry demise of 20th Century Fox's X-Men franchise, which introduced an entire world of mutant heroes and villains into live action before any other superhero franchise had legs. Fox produced 13 movies in the X-Men franchise, kicking off with 2000's X-Men and coming to an end shortly after Disney's acquisition of Fox was finalized in 2019. Unfortunately, I do not consider The New Mutants to be a fond farewell to the X-Men franchise, and Josh Boone's movie actually encapsulated everything that was wrong with the franchise. The box office draw of The New Mutants is emblematic of the X-Men franchise's disappointing ending, though this surely was impacted by restrictions brought about during the COVID-19 pandemic, too. I absolutely loved several movies in Fox's Marvel franchise, with X2, First Class, Days of Future Past, Logan, and the Deadpool movies standing out as my favorites. However, the lack of care given to Dark Phoenix and the New Mutants amid Disney's acquisition of Fox meant that the franchise ended incredibly poorly, though Marvel Studios has since paid homage to the old franchise. 2024's Deadpool and Wolverine canonized Fox's X-Men franchise, its reality now dubbed Earth 10005, in the MCU's multiversal timeline, bringing back Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool and several other notable heroes from the Fox days. I loved that Fox's franchise was honored, as the X-Men film series laid the foundations for the more successful superhero franchises of now, namely the MCU. However, the dwindling ending of the franchise with the New Mutants set the standard for superhero franchises to end in its wake. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom was a weird ending for the DCEU. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom ended the DC Extended Universe on December 22, 2023. Similarly to the New Mutants, 2023's Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom brought the DC Extended Universe, DCEU, to an end after the cancellation of the franchise had already been confirmed. James Gunn and Peter Safran took over as co-CEOs of the then-new DC Studios at the end of 2022, and the former announced DC Studios' plans to reboot the DCEU in January 2023. We then saw this announcement have a massively detrimental effect on the DCEU movies yet to release in 2023, including Shazam! Fury of the Gods, The Flash, Blue Beetle and Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. The sequel to DC Films' most successful movie, 2018's Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, unsurprisingly, performed the best out of DC's 2023 movies. However, the movie was still negatively received, marking a sorry demise of the DCEU after several years of disappointing releases, behind-the-scenes controversies and a lack of direction. Filmmaker Zack Snyder had the clearest direction for the early DCEU, but his vision was squandered after he left due to a personal tragedy during the development of Justice League, which caused me and many others to lose faith in the franchise since The Suicide Squad and Peacemaker were two of the most positively received projects in the DCEU's later years. Creator James Gunn was hired in a permanent and more creatively controlling capacity to reinvent DC's live-action franchise. The new DCU kicked off with Creature Commandos at the beginning of December, and will begin to expand with a Superman reboot in July 2025, which I'm very excited about. Hopefully, Gunn and Safran's DCU will help us forget about the disappointments of the DCEU's ending, as I think most would rather just forget about it.